Oh, thank you for watching this video. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to use QuickBooks Online 2022. So what you learn watching this video, basic understanding of QuickBooks Online and navigating QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks setup and managing transactions. Uh, and then we'll do some book review once you uh, add transactions. All right. So this is about me. I posted my first QuickBooks YouTube tutorial video on December 14, 2013. That's over 9 years ago now. Back then, most of the QuickBooks experts, they haven't even heard of QuickBooks Online. They are familiar with the desktop version, but not the online version. So since then, I've published over 400 videos on YouTube channels. Some of my videos are still among the top 100 watched videos of all time posted by QuickBooks experts on YouTube. So that's me. So let's go to QuickBooks Online now. So this is the demo version I have, and yours might look a little bit different. This is they have several versions. And to keep updating things, so it may look different. So this is the one I have, and you may have uh, other versions like let's see in here. Like it looks something like this. You know, it's totally different in here. The left navigation bar, but once we go through, they all does the same thing. Your tracking expenses and generating reports, uh, and then they added the new ones. That's additional buying apps and buying other services from QuickBooks. So I'm going to use my the other version I have, that I have some transactions in here. Okay, so basically it looks something like this. And if you are migrating from QuickBooks desktop, you will see similar charts like this in here. Adding money is basically you create invoices or sales receipts, and the money out is basically you pay bills. Again, you can do track timing and manage payroll, and then you run accounting reports. That's the desktop type, and then you can select the business overview, and then you will see uh, all the graphs on the left side and the bank accounts on the right side. And if you have multiple bank accounts, normally you want to put the checking account on top, your checking account, and then then the savings account. If you have more than one checking account, then top one, the one you most use, and then you select the other ones as your favorite thing. The reason is when you go to uh, banking right here, you want to see your checking account first. You know, if you just see this like credit card up on the first one, then you always have to you know find out where your main checking account is. So it will save you time. And looks, this is where you will have most transactions as well. The other ones will have less. Okay, and on that one, and if you want to rearrange this accounts, bank accounts and credit card accounts, you just go to the business overview and see this little pencil in here. Click this, and then you can move around this thing in here, like this. Move, move up, move down, like this. Okay, and then when you go to your banking, then you will see this one on top. Like we save it, Now if you go to banking, so you'll see, so this one first. Now it used to be this one on top, Okay, so you got an idea now, so it will save you time. Okay, so we'll come back to the banking part later on. Okay, so basically when you sign in, you have a dashboard and you have get things done. Basically, this is for like entering manual transactions, like creating invoices. That's a manual transaction. Uh, and then sending invoices. These are QuickBooks bookkeeping features, and you have all the charts in here. Okay, so this is the part, and then you always see the plus new. What is this plus new thing? So I'll click it here. So this is what manual transactions. You're creating invoices, receiving payment on that invoice, and you can create estimate. You can create memo, and then sales receipt, refund receipt. So refund receipt is basically uh, it's you created sales and the customer needs uh, they return something, so it's create refund receipt, so it will do both. Basically reverse your sales, and at the same time you pay by check basically. And if it's a credit memo, then this is setting up credit memo and you'll pay it later on. It's creating a negative balance on that customer invoice. And these two probably you don't need it, so don't worry about those. And on the vendor side, the expenses. And if you need more, I have done several videos on these, delayed credit and charges, how this works. You can watch my videos. And vendors and expenses. So this is on the vendors, customers, vendors, and so expenses, creating expenses. So expenses basically manually entering transactions. If you do it manually entering transactions, and if you are adding transactions from the banking side, from the banking in here, bank feeds, then you don't need to worry about creating expenses. Same thing with the invoice. If you're not doing invoices, these are you don't need this. These are creating invoices, and then later on creating transactions from here, and then on the banking side, it's basically since you already created transactions, you just do the matching in here. Okay, so the same thing with the so if you are creating bill is basically you have received vendor bill, you bought something and you don't need to pay right away. They give you certain terms, like you can pay it in 15 days or 30 days or 60 days. You set up an accounts payable, and later on you pay the bills. And the purchase order, some customers, your vendors, they would need a purchase order to send you parts. So then you create a purchase order, and from the purchase order, you convert that to bill, or you can pay that bill by check or expense as well. And the vendor credit is basically reversal of this credit memo, and credit card credit is basically, you bought something from, let's say, Amazon and you returned it. So this is credit card credit. And so this is creating, as I said, all a manual transaction. If you are just using uh, transactions, adding transactions on the bank feed, then you don't need to worry about these things. Okay, and so the inventory is basically if you have a plus, plus or the advanced one, and then you're tracking inventory, and making some adjustments in here. Okay, so the pay down credit card is basically, you have a credit card and you're making payments. That's what it is. There are other ways to get here, but this is they have added more in here. Okay, and transfer is basically transferring from one bank account to another bank account in QuickBooks, recording transactions basically, not actually, it won't actually transfer that part. You still have to do it uh, going to your bank account, you know, and the bank deposit, recording transactions, recording bank deposits in here. All right, so and then if you don't want to see all these, you can click show less. Now it's only these. Okay, so that's the plus part. So this is basically creating manual transactions. So if you're if you have you know transactions you want to enter it in QuickBooks, uh, and that's where you do. That's you come here and create new transactions in here. Okay, and then if you want to set up some things, then you go to the see right here, account and settings, manage users, custom form styles, chart of accounts, quick start of account. You can go, you can go to chart of account for another place too, but they have in here too, and you can look at all these things. Import data, order checks. Some of this you may not even use it. And here's the recording transaction. This part you may use it. So it's basically you have certain transactions. It's recording on a recording basis, and you want to do the manual recording. Uh, that's where it comes. And then creating product and services. So every time you want to create invoices, you need product and services. So let's see the invoices in here. Invoice. So here's the invoice in here. Let's look at the other one, the old one here. So you create customer, and so some of these you may not even have it. This is a customized uh, added fields in here, so you can do it from here. You can do it from here too, a little bit. See all these things. Okay. So I have done several videos on creating invoices and how to record receive payments, and dealing with the sales part, invoices, receive payments. So if you go to overview, you will see all these. So like here, all sales and product and services in here, payment links if you are creating invoices and accepting payments from QuickBooks merchant service. Okay, so these are the basic stuff, and let's look at the in here account and settings. This is the one you may use it. So in the company name you can change it in here, like all this stuff, the pencil mark in here like this. This is self-explanatory. You just put the EIN or SSN number. So this is just for your own record, it goes nowhere. Okay, and the tax form, this is just for your own purpose. Even if you just leave it blank, that's fine. This one goes nowhere. And then you can put the address in here. Some of these you need it if you want to create invoices and you want to show the address. And let's see, legal address in here, and the preferences. You can click it all those in here. Marketing preferences. Okay. Some of these they try to sell things. And then the billing and subscription. This is where you come in, and this one I have is the plus one. You may have a simple start or essentials or advanced, and if you want to add payroll or QuickBooks time, it used to be TSOT, you can add it in here, and buy supplies. And then if you want to apply the QuickBooks Online payments, you come in here, and then the manage users. If you want to add other people using your QuickBooks, then you can add it from here. You can add your accountant too. Okay, so this depends upon how many users you can add. It depends upon the plan you have. So if you have plus plan, then you have more users. If you have a simple start, then you have starting out with the one. All right, then you have essentials, look different. Okay, and so now before you recording transactions, you have to decide whether you need to create invoices or not. If whether you need to enter transactions or not. Uh, and if do you need to create invoices, do you track inventories or not. So those are the basic things. So you have to finalize, decide before going to the banking side. This is where your bank will download transactions. You have to link it. Once you link it, it will download transactions every day. And then you'll have to categorize these transactions. So before you do that, you need to decide how to categorize this. If I don't create transactions, if I don't create invoices, that's fine. You can just come here and just add your transactions. And what happens if I create invoices? In that case, you come here and you just need to match it. So match it means you're not creating new transactions. Matching means you have already created transactions and you are just matching that transaction. Uh, so same thing with the bill. If you are creating bill, if you are already paid that bill, then when you come here, you just uh, come here and match it. Okay. So here's the bank fee. So this is the one most of the users use. And so you have to understand how this works. I'm going to go through this a little more. Okay, and I'll come back to the banking again. Okay, and then they have a cash flow planner. You can look at it here, planner. So you can do cash flow planning, but you should be using the QuickBooks a little bit more before you come down here, because this one you need some data. So you got 12 months, this month planning, cash flow planner. So if, you have to understand how the cash flow works. You can just Google cash flow planner and understand the basic things just by Googling what is this cash flow things, how does it work. Okay, it's basically money out, in and out, and then also cash balance. It's very helpful if you want to be serious about this feature. Okay, and expenses. So it's basically sales. You create invoices and customer database. All the customer information is right here. Customer profile. Like clean here. Just click it here. So is a detail in here on the customer. You will see transaction, and in this case, I'm using projects too. So if you're using, it will show the projects. There's a project is a separate navigation for going to project, but it will show, because this is the customer profile. It will show the projects as well, and customer details information in here. So if I've created price rules, it will show all this in here, and the late fees. Well, okay. And then the product and services, it will take you to here. So this is basically if you are creating invoices, if you are tracking inventory. So they have four, in creating tracking inventory, and then non-inventory, same thing. You need to, you need to create invoices or sales receipt. So you need to create all these. And if you are not creating invoices, it's basically adding it to your income. You have received $10,000, and if that is your income, just add to sales account. So sales account, you go to chart of account. The chart of accounts is like a hub of all the accounts. And you will see in here the sales account. It will be underneath in here. Right here, right after the balance sheet. So it's all a sales account. So if you want to create a sales account, you just go to accounting, chart of accounts. And normally when you sign up for the QuickBooks, you'll have certain uh, accounts already set up. So you can just basically use those accounts. You don't need to create any different accounts. But if it's your business needs one, you know, if you want to be specific, so you have to decide whatever sales tracking you need. So just go to new, and the account type in this case sales. So income, right? Income type, account type is income, and the detail type, just select sales of product or service fee income. So sales of product is selling inventory or non-inventory. Services, you're providing services, you know, or a fee, you apply fee. Service, you, you bill based on hourly rate, or your service contract or whatever, consulting thing. So this is where, you know, you use. Okay. And then your name, you just type the name any way you want it, you know. Okay. So it will go to your profit and loss. This name will show up on your profit and loss statement, you know, like here. Profit and loss. So all these, it comes from your chart of accounts. These are the account name comes from your chart of accounts, you know. You don't want to say product sale, you want to say something else, then you need to change that one. Okay, so and then taxes, if you are paying sales tax, uh, and if you are tracking, creating invoices or sales receipt, then you will need to use this. But if you are not creating invoices and you just basically want track sales tax some different ways, then you don't need to use this. And 1099 is the same thing. It's basically independent contractor. You want to track those, and then you want to file it. You know, you come here. Okay, so there's additional fee for this service. Okay, so accounting, and then reconcile accounts, and my accountant. So this is if you have your accountant and you want to give access to your accountant, you know, this is where you come. Share documents, request. Okay, then you have certain additional features in here. They keep adding. They're providing all additional services that you can buy from them. Capital, you can borrow money from them, you know, and you can buy apps from the App Center. Okay, and then the projects, it's part of the sales. And if you're doing a project cost, then you can use this uh, feature, you know. So you uh, need to look for details on how to do the project costing, you know. So actually, if you can just go to the help thing, see right here, if you go to help, and they have all kinds of articles in here, you know. You just need to type whatever you want, you know, how see in here, how do I create journal entry or like projects. See, it tells you, you know, regarding projects in here, you know. You have to either you can do this, or you can just Google it, you know, projects in QuickBooks Online. Okay, so now let's go to the banking else. Okay, so most of the users, you know, they just need to use bank fees, you know, and bank will download transactions, and then you need to categorize. Just because it's downloaded, that doesn't mean it's in QuickBooks register. So everything, all the transaction has to be in register to have recorded to your you know, for book reviews. You know, it will show all the transactions with where it's going. You know, your profit and loss, or the balance sheet accounts, how much bank balance you have. So just because it's in downloaded, so like this, it's not in register yet. You know, so you need to categorize those transactions. You know. Okay, so On this one I don't have any, so let's see here. Okay. Okay, so basically it will download transactions, something like this. All right, I'll come back to maths a little later on. Okay, so basically what it'll do is it will download these are transactions, Okay, so it will say it will download with some information like a memo in here. You should see memo in here. This comes from your bank. And if you don't see it, you just need to go in here. This is the middle gear, the upper gear. This is where you set up. But we already went through this, all this. And if you have budgeting, if you have plus, and audit log is find out who is using your QuickBooks. Okay, so this is the middle gear for the banking only. So in here, you should select the show bank details, bank details, and bank details, copy bank details to memo. So it's basically what it's saying is a bank detail, and make sure you copy the bank detail to this memo. And when you add this will what you see in your general ledger, register as well. Okay. And the tag is, if you don't like the tag, most people don't use it. So this is basically, you tag it for certain specific thing. You can click it here, manage tags. It will tell you how to use it. And if you don't need this, then you can just turn it off from this setup gear. Okay, so now this one, they will show the transaction date, and then the other ones it'll show blank. It'll see in here, like here. In this case, it's showing that this is the bank detail. It says ABC Auto Finance, and there's no payee. And so your job is to select payee. So in this case, I just want to select ABC Auto Finance. If it's not on the list, then you can always add plus new, plus new, and make sure it's vendor. So if it's your expenses, it's vendor. Money out is your vendor. Money in is your customer. And if it's a banking transaction, doesn't matter if it's money out or money in, it's always a vendor. So customer, you actually sell your products or services. And the employee is if you're using payroll. Okay. So ABC finance in here, and they're suggesting it's a repair and finance. All right, and if it's not, then you can always change it. It will say suggested in here. See, enable suggested categorization. Okay, and if you don't like it, if you think it should go to somewhere else, you can always change it from here. Okay, and then in this case, I'm using this additional feature. So if it's like a project base, then you need to select this. So most of the people, they don't even users, they don't see this one, And this, if the expense is billable back to your customer, then you select this box. Okay, and then I'm showing location and class. If you're tracking class and location, then you will have this box. Otherwise, you can turn it off, or you may not even have that feature if you have like essentials or simple start. So in here, like select San Diego, and let's say this is for the installation expense. You select that one. Okay, and then the other one is the most important part of this QuickBooks feature is this banking and using the rule, creating rules. Okay, so the rule is basically what I'm saying is, um, so whenever you buy something or pay something to this ABC Auto Center, it will go to repairs and maintenance, uh, and then location, if location and its class stuff. Okay, so just click the creator rule, and then you just copy this pay, and so that's what you want to call it right here. Okay, and then select all other banks or just a specific account. So normally the expenses, could come from all bank accounts. Then you select all bank accounts, and then select all this, whatever, even if it have a class and location, so don't worry about it. And at the bottom you'll see automatically confirm transactions to this rule applies to. So they have or auto add or just basically a manual. So this means they will assign all these, but you'll have to come back and I'll just save this now for an auto add. This is non-auto add. This is manual. So now it's basically, there is a rule, but it's not automatic yet. So it's still showing in here, right? It's a rule. They added this, and it's a rule. So basically, if this looks okay, then you just add it, just add it. Okay, so that's there's a rule, but it's a manual add rule. Okay, and then the other one, let's say there's a Best Buy in here. Best Buys, and let's say Best Buys is object expenses, and you create rule. Okay, all bank accounts, and in this case, see, it was remembering the previous auto rule, so that's why it didn't select. If you select this, then next time you will see this. They also select auto add. So let's see what happens with auto add. Okay, so this is from the Best Buys. Okay, so now you don't see it in here. It's in the QuickBooks register. So categorize means it's in the register. All right, so this is right here. See the Best Buy one. So as you can see in here, this is there is a rule for this one and this one, Best Buy and ABC Auto Finance and American Airlines in here. So this is auto rule, means you don't get the chance to review it. It will download transaction, it automatically add to your register or general ledger. And the other one is basically, hey, I want to review it first. You can categorize it, but I want to review it, So that's the difference. Okay, let's say, you want this Best Buys thing, you want to categorize to some other account other than expenses, right? Click it here, right here. So this is the, so as you can see, right here, and then you can always change it in here. See right here. Let's say I want this computer. I want to call this computer and internet expenses. You can just change it and then save and close, right? And just saying is class field missing, because it's class tracking is on. Okay, so now you can see here, you change it to computer. Okay, so now you want to find out how much I'm spending money paying bills to this ABC Auto Finance. What type of transactions I'm doing with this ABC Finance. You just go to this expenses and vendors and type ABC. Here's ABC in here. So these are all, as you can see here, sometimes it's going to automobiles, sometimes it's going to bank charges, and it's not consistent, and here going to all kinds of other accounts. So that's why you need to when you come to banking, it's very important you select the pay, that way it'll go to the right account. And if it's not in the right account, then you can categorize to the right place. Okay, so let's go back to that ABC thing and make sure all the transactions from ABC Auto Finance goes to the same account. Okay, so if you have a vendor payee assigned, then you can come here and categorize to the same account, so all you have to do is, let's say I want this all goes to the same account, these are going everywhere, sometimes repair, sometimes this. Okay, so click this and categorize selected in here. Okay, so some of these the bill payment you can't do it, so that's why it's not checking. So let's check the few things in here, or you can do let's see if I can do this. Okay, I'll just do the checks and expenses. Okay, checks and expense type. All right, select, see, it's not gray anymore. Categorize selected. Where do you want this? Let's say this is the repair and maintenance. I want all the expenses going to repairs and maintenance, Okay, ABC Auto Finance, the vendor, and I want to select categorize repair and maintenance. So now all the expenses you will see going to that account, All right, you got an idea now. So that's why it's important you assign vendor pay on every expense transactions. Okay, so now in this case you have created it says match found. What does that mean? So that means you have created a manual transaction, and let's look at the journal entry in here. So you may not have a journal entry, and there's no match, So what you're saying is basically I use credit card to buy something from the from Home Depot, Okay, and you already recorded this, so it's downloaded the expense transactions, and you just want to match it so that it'll show that you paid that you paid the expense. So just click the match, and it's gone. Okay, and then let's say this one is basically it's the credit card one. And so you paid credit card, just payment, $800 is from somewhere, someplace. And you just click the record and transaction, it will show as a, it's matching thing, like a peer thing. It'll show like a peer, hey, you transferred this 800 from this account, Okay. In this case, this is the demo, so you may not see that $800 in the main bank account. That's why it's not showing the pair. Normally when you select this record as credit card payment, you will see the pair if it's coming from, let's say, Chase bank account. Okay, and let's go to in here. Okay, and the same thing with this. Let's say they assign something, but it's the bank thinks it's a travel expense, R&D travel expense. If it's different, then you can just change it. Let's say in here your vendor is Chevron. Okay, in this case I don't have a Chevron. See, it's EV Chevron. Okay, so I'll go to Chevron and, you know, let's say this is for my own auto expense thing, automobile expense or gas. You know, sometime you may have a different account, gasoline account or whatever account you want to select. Just this, and then create the rule. Chevron. Okay, and you can select all bank accounts. Just the same, just the one account. And in here, as you can see, it's auto add. Just click this. So what that will happen is whenever QuickBooks, whenever you go to Chevron, you know, the bank, if they have different new transactions, QuickBooks look at it, and if there's a rule, they automatically um, categorize those transactions. It will save you a lot of time. Okay, so right here is a Home Depot. It says independent contractor. They have a pay already, you know, using that vendor. So let's say this is the purchases material. You know, just use this, or repair and maintenance, whatever it is. You know, just and then create rule. So you got an idea on how to create rules now, like this. Normally you want to select all banks because it's possible you may not use that credit card at some point, you know, or use different credit card or different bank account. So it's better to select all bank accounts on most of the expense transactions, you know. Okay, and save this. Okay, so you know, same thing with the other ones, you know, and let's say Southwest. All right, I don't have that one, so I got an idea how to select that one. Southwest Airlines. All right, so basically, let's say, you know, I have my earned expense, and this is your travel expense, let's say, and create rule. All right, so before I do that, let's create this first. All bank accounts. Okay, some expenses, you know, it may go to more than one account, you know, 50% this, 50% that, you know. If that's the case, you just click the add a split, and then you can decide the percentage or dollar, you know. Let's say this is the amount one, you know, the amount one is this bill. Let's say you know, it's a $200 bill. You want $50 in here, and balance, you know, reminder, it goes to different account, or just a percentage thing. All right, so let's just use 50/50 in here. So let's say the 50% you want to categorize through your R&D travel, and another 50% to, let's say, just your travel expense. All right, so this is what this is telling you. It's this 50% is the R&D part, and the other one is just a travel. It's a non-R&D type, you know. And so like this, and you can do a manual thing. Just click in here. See, it's split in here. It says split. See right here, right? And then if you want to edit, just come here and click this rule applied. Okay, and then basically you can change it in here. See right here. So those are the rules. Rules very important. It will save you a lot of time if you are, especially a small business and don't have enough time, you know, to the bookkeeping part, but you want to track all expenses and generate reports. The rules will save you all kinds of time. So if you want to edit rules, just click in here. So in this case, I have 12 items, and if you want to edit, you can just click edit. And if you don't want to, don't need this rule anymore, just delete, or just want to temporarily disable, just click disable. Okay, so in here it's basically saying all the bank accounts, and this one is basically just one bank account, Okay, and then okay, sometime when you come in, it's possible you don't see any bank download transaction. It's clogged, then you can just click this link account, and you can just, it will say update, you can just click update. It will, if there are any missing transactions, or not downloaded transaction yet, it will update it, and sometimes you will see some bank error, say 103 or 175, whatever, and it will tell you to basically sign in, and then you have to link it back again. So it'll tell you how to do it, Okay, and let's see what else in here. Okay, so now let's look at this in here. All right, so in this case, I have 56 transactions, that's a lot, right? And so 56 is not a lot, but it could be, let's say, 2,000 transactions for 6 months, and you want to categorize those. Okay, so this is where this guy, middle gear, comes in, and make sure to turn, it's like a turn on the grouping part. In this case, grouping is on. See, turn on grouping. Okay, so what this will do is, let's say you go to Home Depot a lot, and it'll group all the Home Depot expenses, and you can do group categorization, so let's look in here. All right, there's a good one here. See, so this let's say is a Costco one. As a Costco, it says meals and entertainment, but that's not the case. It's just basically assigning random. The more you start categorizing, the bank download will show the right accounts, right suggested accounts. Okay, so just click this. See, so you're adding all four at the same time, Okay, so accept is, well, it looks okay, and then update means you want to revise this. It's Costco is fine, but it shouldn't go to meals and entertainment. It should go to something else. All right. So let's suppose this one is you have 400 transactions. It'll save you a lot of time. You don't need to do one at a time. Okay. So just click update. All right. Transaction type is expense. So you'll see transaction tax expense is, you paid by either credit card or your debit card, or you just use your, bank online thing, and pay is Costco. Okay, the category, let's say office supplies. This office expense, okay. And class, if you have a class, then you just use that one. Let's say, like this. Okay, and apply and accept. And it's asking, hey, you may have, what do you want to do with the future transaction? Do you want to create rules? Of course, I want to save my time. So create rule. Now it's done. Okay, where did it go? So let's just go to categorize in here. The second one for review, it will download a transaction. It sits in here and categorize. And once you categorize, it'll move from for review to categorize. So the Costco one. See, it's in the register now. So what is register? So go to bank register. So these are all in here. So if you want to see the Costco, so every transaction has to be in the register. If you, like all these Costco, and it's added in here, Okay, so let's go to banking again. So, and how about these? You have all kinds of deposits in here. All right, so let's say deposits. All these deposits you want to add to your income. And if you have a payment, if you're creating invoices, you know, and uh, then you will see match in here. Let's say, okay, so let's add this everything to same account. Okay, let's exclude these two. All right, so let's update this, and let's say I want this add to for the deposits. If you want to add your customer name, that's okay. Let's just say here transaction is deposit, and a pay is, let's just say deposit. It could be several. You don't want to track all the customers in here. Okay, so deposit, this is all you need, because this is not going to do anything. Okay, so categorize is sales income. Let's say this is all for the services right here. Service. All right, accept. So this is not creating any sales transactions. It's basically adding your deposits to your income account. All right, so there's another one. It's in here. Okay, let's just say this 275 is the only one left on the deposit side. Okay, so what's the difference between, and if you, let's say, you can go to the categorize one and the deposit one. Let's just undo this. See, deposit is positive in here, expense is negative. All right, so, okay, so now it's in here. It's a $2,000. There's a rule, but let's just say you for this example, you want to you create invoices. Okay, so this is on January 1, 2018. All right, so let's go to the creating invoices. Let's go to the sales in here and create invoices. Okay, so create invoice. All right, so customer, who's your customer? All right, let's just say this is the customer, and the date, in this case, let's just say January 1, 2018. So normally when you create invoices, it would be a couple of days, let's just say January 1 for this one. Okay, and then you select the products. Let's just say this is a service one. Service. Okay, so the $1,200 service. Okay, so for this, let's do the simple thing. Okay, save and close. So now you go to the banking and see what happens. See, you will see the match in here. What it's saying is, hey, you have this invoice created on this date, and the amount is this, it's open balance. Do you want to match? Or you have you want to find other matches for this $1,200. Let's say if you create $1,200 5 invoices, you can end up with this one. So in this case, so this is the right one we just created, and if it is a different one, you can click to find other matches, and then you so they found this one, and if it is a different invoice, different customer for the same amount, you will see it in here. Then you need to figure out which invoice you deposited, receive payment, and you deposited that payment. So in this case, this is the right one, and the difference is 0. So just click this one, save it. So now it's in register. So now if you go to categorize for that $1,200, you will see payment added to accounts receivable. The other one, deposit, add it to your sales income account. That's in your chart of account. This one is your AR, okay, because you created an invoice. Okay, so that's the difference between creating invoices and receiving payment and matching that deposit. Okay, the other one is basically don't want to track, don't create invoices, don't want to create invoice, and just want to add to income. Okay, and then the other ones you can just categorize those things. Okay, so once it's done, basically it's everything in the register. You go to bank register, you will see all the transactions, downloaded transactions in here. They're all in here. And then you can reconcile it. So reconcile means uh, you know whatever it's in the bank, it should be in the register. And if it's in the register but it's not in the bank, then you need to review it. It could be just a transit thing, or you missed to deposit some customer checks, or you received checks to your supplier and they haven't cashed it yet, or it could be something worse. You just went to the wrong account. You just categorized the wrong bank account, could be anything. So it's better to reconcile this. It's very super easy. Uh, you know, at least once a month, or once a month, or every 3 months. Depends. Okay. All right. So it's basically we went through all these. Okay, and then we go to the reports. Okay, so basically, you categorize everything from the bank. There's nothing here. It's just you have few things. Let's say categorize everything. It's open. Once it's open, it will say. Let's see in here. See in here. This little say. We'll say all set with this account. There's nothing left. So you'll see a check mark in here. And in this case, there's one transaction left to categorize. In this case, there's 3 transactions left to categorize. So once you categorize everything, there's nothing left. And also try to update this thing to see, make sure it's there's no clogged. Sometimes you don't download. You may want to manually update the thing and check this to see everything's okay. So that means once you categorize everything and it's in the register from here to here, then you're all set. Categorize means it's in the QuickBooks register or QuickBooks Travel. Okay, so now once it's done, you just come here and then you click the reports. Now you want to do the book review. Okay, so you have, depending on the plan, you see all these reports, so this is the favorite thing. It comes from here. Here's the business overview thing and balance reports, budget overview if you are tracking budgets, profit and loss, who owes you means your customers if you are creating invoices, and sales and customers. Basically, you're tracking your sales by customer or sales by products, transaction list by customers, Okay, and then if you have independent contractors, you're tracking it. So it's basically, you'll see all the reports in here. The expense and vendors, same thing, And if you are using sales tax feature from the QuickBooks, so this you'll see they have three reports in here. And if you have the payroll on, then you'll see a bunch of payroll reports. In this case, I don't have the payroll in here. And this is for your accountant. So this is what your accountants will review it. And then the payroll for time tracking if you're using their QuickBooks Time, Okay, so those are the ones. And then, let's say you want to review certain reports every time, like once a month. So what you do is basically like here, see, income by customer, there's a check mark in here. See this checked, right? So that means you will see this report on top in here, right here. See, AR aging. So it's basically, all these reports, profit and loss. So if you don't check this one, let's say, then you won't see it in here. It's gone. So come down to this detailed report and select the ones you want reviewed every month. So as you can see, it's on top now, right? Okay. So now, in certain reports, you can customize it. Let's say profit and loss in here, click it, and you want to customize it. Let's say I want to see all dates from day one, or I want to see custom for the last 2 years. Let's say January 1, let's say 2020, 2019 to 12/31/2020, something like this, okay. And you can run the report right here. So this is for 2 years, see, 19 and 20. And hey, I don't want the total. I want to see by year, Then you just come down here, display columns, and select the years. So you can see here, last year, a previous year, and this year. Hey, I want a little more breakdown. How about the quarterly one? Hey, no problem. It's a quarters one. So now you see the trend in here. See, all these like this. So it's by quarter now. This is the first quarter, January 2019, second quarter 2019, like this. So you can do whatever you want. So you just come down here, and they even have days in here. I don't think you would need days, maybe just for a month or so, and weeks, months, like this. And sometimes you select month, and you want to see it for the whole year. Let's say this is for the 2019 one. 2019, like this. So now this report is for the whole year by month, right? Okay, and if you want to dig into more information, you can click it here, like total sales income, or any line, like click this one, like see, it'll take you to detail, like this, right here, right? Like this, see, like this. Okay, like this. Okay, and they have all kinds of reports. You can look at it, Okay. Okay, so that's the focus of this video. Hope it's helpful. Thank you for watching.